Have to. Yeah. Yeah. But with the case of this, no, it might be first sentence. Statement, chair. Right, so it's not nobody can see. Sometimes.
I'm gonna enter. So,
Yeah. And I'll go see why.
they release everything.
So much better.
What did they do?
I will catch it.
Okay. So they came back and I'm not gonna say anything. First degree.
Put in a salt, I thought about jar feet.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. You want to get everybody lined up? You want to get everybody lined up? Brian, you come over here. Bring his card.
I can have your attention if you want. First off, that's courtesy. Got one piece of, also, if you could, speakers.
If you want to just come in, these are a little wide. Do we want, the Drew's family's still back there. Do we want to?
Yeah. Let me go get them.
Yeah, just a moment. We're gonna get, oh, I think they're coming.
Yeah.
This is this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
I'm sure.
Just start. Tell them to skip me and I'll be back down as soon as I can. Yeah, thanks. Actually, my number came downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, about right now.
And if y'all want to come,
Oh,
that's where we're gonna go. Brian, me,
I say and doing for them.
Tap, then
Yes, sir.
Sheriff, then so we're gonna go Brian, me, Tap, and you ready? Okay. Are y'all ready for us to start?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So,
All right. Good morning. I would like to introduce everybody that's standing up here in front of you. I have U.S. Attorney Zachary Keller. We have Rapides Parish Sheriff Mark Wood, FBI Special Agent in Charge Jonathan Tapp, Rapides Parish District Attorney Philip Terrell. We also have Alexandria Chief of Police Chad Grimion, as well as Louisiana State Police Master Trooper Casey Wallace. My name is Brian Barber. I'm the U.S. Marshal for the Western District. Let me first start off by saying that we continue to mourn the loss of Deputy Hanson, Drew. Deputy Hanson was a dedicated public servant, made the ultimate sacrifice in his service to others. This tragedy has left an immeasurable void in his family, in this community, and the United States Marshal Service. Drew will be remembered by all. I want to thank our local, state, and federal partners who have worked tirelessly since this tragedy occurred on July 13th, 2026. Their cooperation reflects the strength of the law enforcement profession and our shared commitment to justice. We have complete confidence in the investigators, the prosecutors, and our judicial system that the guilty party will be held fully accountable. And by fully accountable, I mean a message will be sent of the dire consequences of those who choose to kill or attempt to kill or violently attack law enforcement personnel. While we cannot undo this tremendous loss, we can honor Deputy Hanson's memory by standing together, supporting the family, and remaining steadfast in our commitment to the rule of law. We ask this community to keep Drew's family, his friends, and his fellow officers, much are here today, in your thoughts and your prayers as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Marshal Barber. My name is Zachary Keller. I'm the United States Attorney for the Western District of Louisiana. And we're here today to announce the indictment of Clarence Frazier, the man that we're alleging killed Deputy United States Marshal Drew Hanson. But before I talk about that case, I just want to offer a few reflections on why this case matters so much, why this tragedy matters so much. And for people who are at home hearing about this, members of our community, people who don't work in law enforcement like me, what you should think about this, what you should take away from this. And I want to give you two things. The first has to do with what our law enforcement partners face every day in our communities. And I'm joined here with a lot of our law enforcement partners, their leadership. We're joined by Drew's colleagues at the United States Marshal Service. And I myself, as United States Attorney, go to law enforcement functions all the time. And one of the things that I hear in every function is one phrase that I'm sure members of our community have all heard before, which is that law enforcement runs toward the danger to keep us safe. And when we hear something over and over again, it can start to be a situation where we understand it with our brains, but we don't hear it in our hearts anymore. We don't really think about what that means, about the fact that people like Deputy Marshal Hanson chose every day, and these deputy marshals over here with us choose every day to run toward the danger for us. And when a tragedy like this happens, it is a moment for all of us to reflect upon what it really means for the law enforcement officers that you see every day in your community, about what they're choosing to do, about what Drew chose to do for us by standing in the line, by running toward the danger so that we don't have to, and so that we don't face the types of things that he faced the day that this tragedy happened. The other thing I wanted to speak on is Drew himself, the man. From the time that I've had to visit with him, from learning about him more from his family, that this is a man like me who was in his 30s with 2 young children. This was a man who grew up in Alexandria, had the courage, had the vision to leave Alexandria, to better himself, to learn, to see the world, and to come back, to choose to come back here and serve his community. That is something that is such a blessing for Alexandria, is something that is deserving of honor, respect, and reflection. And it shows someone who, and this is just who Drew was, that he was a dreamer. He was someone who dreamed. He dreamed of being a deputy marshal. He dreamed of being a father. He dreamed of serving this community in Alexandria, and he did all those things. And when we reflect on the enormity of this loss, this man at 36 years old with these 2 children, with this beautiful family, that we all take a moment to honor not just the sacrifice he made, but the life that he lived. Because it was a tremendous life. It was a life that saw success after success after success and perseverance through adversity. So we just want to take a moment to honor him and to reflect on that life that was so well lived. With that, I do, though, want to talk about the criminal case that was indicted this morning, which is what we're here to announce. And that is that the man that we are alleging to have killed Drew, to have killed Deputy Marshal Hanson, Clarence A. Frazier Jr., a registered sex offender, a person who is a convicted sex criminal, is alleged to have murdered Deputy Marshal Drew Hanson, which is count 1 in the indictment that's been returned today, is charged to have attempted to murder a task force officer with the United States Marshal Service, which is count 2 in the indictment, is charged with having assaulted these 2 officers with a deadly weapon, is charged with having fired a gun in furtherance of those crimes, and is charged with being a felon in possession of that firearm because of the fact that he was already this convicted sex criminal before any of this happened. And you will see in the indictment, which has been filed and should be made public in the near future, that there are the allegations necessary for our office to begin the death penalty process as well. That is included in the indictment, and that will be a process that plays itself out through the court system and through the Department of Justice. So that case is now indicted in the Western District of Louisiana. Our office looks forward to investing every resource to see justice done in this case. And we look forward to continuing to work on it and see justice done for this family, for Drew, working with our federal partners who are going to be speaking and our state partners who are going to be speaking today, starting with Special Agent in Charge Jonathan Tapp of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Thank you.
Thank you, U.S. Attorney Keller. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Tapp, Special Agent in Charge of the FBI's New Orleans Field Office. Out of this field office, we cover the entire state of Louisiana. The FBI is the federal agency with primary investigative responsibility for the crimes of assaults and murders of federal officers. Today's indictment is only the latest step in what is still a very active and ongoing investigation. And because of that, what we can say here today is limited and subject to change as our investigation continues. But we do want to share some points that have become clear to us in this early phase of our investigation. On Monday, July 13, 2026, Deputy United States Marshal Drew Hanson and the U.S. Marshals Task Force joined the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office and Louisiana Division of Probation and Parole to execute a state arrest and search warrant at a residence on Rutland Road in Alexandria, Louisiana. This is the work the U.S. Marshal Service and law enforcement across the United States do every day. In particular, the U.S. Marshal Service has a task force specifically trained to apprehend fugitives, which is one of the most important, necessary, and very dangerous missions that law enforcement does every day. This arrest warrant, the one on July 13, was issued for Clarence Albert Frazier Jr., who had failed to show up for his trial. The arrest team that arrived at that Rutland Road address was made up of Deputy U.S. Marshal Hanson, the U.S. Marshal's Task Force officer from the Louisiana Division of Probation and Parole, and Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office deputies. The team announced their presence at the front door of the residence and clearly identified themselves as law enforcement officers before entering the house to search for Frazier. Deputy Marshal Hanson led the team through the residence to the last two rooms to be checked, a bathroom and a bedroom, where Frazier was waiting and opened fire on the officers. Law enforcement, including Deputy Marshal Hanson, returned fire. And during this exchange, we believe evidence shows that Frazier shot Deputy Marshal Hanson one time. The evidence indicates that one shot bypassed Deputy Marshal Hanson's ballistic vest, and that Frazier experienced 3 wounds, 2 in the legs and 1 in the foot, and none of his injuries were life-threatening. At this time in the investigation, we believe Frazier did not answer law enforcement officers as they entered the home, before shots were fired, or at any time thereafter. The exchange of gunfire took place in approximately the span of 4 seconds. The handgun we believe Frazier used to murder Deputy Marshal Hanson was a 9mm pistol that had been reported stolen in Alexandria. We recovered that handgun in the room where Frazier was ultimately arrested. At this time, these are the only details we can share. We're still conducting interviews, examining evidence, and taking other investigative steps to ensure that justice is done in this case. We ask that anyone who has any information in the public, if you have a video camera or a Ring doorbell, any information that might be helpful to us, please call us at 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov. Finally, we want to acknowledge the tremendous loss to Drew's family. On behalf of FBI New Orleans, I offer our deepest condolences. Drew was a law enforcement hero, and he left a legacy of courage. Thank you.
Next is Sheriff Mark Wood.
Good morning. Look at that face. I got a son does this too, Mr. Hanson. And when it's broke, after it broke, I called him. This is horrible for y'all. It's a sobering reminder of what law enforcement faces every day. Every day. They get up in the morning, they put the badge on. I don't care what department you work for, it's law enforcement. This is what they face every day. But they do it. They toe that line between good and evil. They have to. We'd be in chaos if it wasn't for them. Pure chaos. So I'm praying for y'all. I have prayed for y'all. I miss him at the ball fields. He was a friend. He was a good man. Please pray for this family, his wife, his parents, his children, and pray for every law enforcement agency out there. This is a different time that we're living in. It's different. But we have to toe that line. So I applaud every agent that's in here, every policeman that's in here, every deputy that's in here. I applaud you. And I have nothing but confidence in our U.S. Attorney and our federal marshals, our FBI agents, our ATF, that this man will be brought to justice and he will pay the price. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Wood. District Attorney Philip Terrell.
Thank you, Zach. On behalf of the Rapides Parish District Attorney's Office, we want to extend our deepest condolences to you, as Sheriff Wood and everybody else has stated. Without the selfless sacrifice of law enforcement officers every day running to the problem instead of away from it, we would be in chaos. We have a great law enforcement community here. You know, most lawyers don't really get how police officers operate and what they have to go through. I was raised by a policeman. That's how I went to school. My daddy was a state trooper, and that I understand how it works as much as somebody who's never done it can. So we want to extend our deepest sympathies to y'all. If we can do anything at all to help you, our door is open, and God bless y'all. God bless all you police officers who are here today. As always, if our office can do anything to help you, please let us know. Thank y'all.
And just to conclude our remarks, we just want to again thank ATF, thank Louisiana State Police, thank the Alexandria Police Department for just being here with us, showing this solidarity, because this is a mission that we are all in together. We are all looking for justice here, and we are all looking to raise up and to amplify the dangers that law enforcement face every day in this work that they do to keep us all safe. With that, we can turn it over for any questions. Okay. If there are no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, law enforcement guys, there is some sandwiches and drinks in the back. If you would like to come back there and get one, you're more than welcome. Okay?
They ran it down to a particular students out there and criminals after that.